Or the Pinties or the Women's World, one of the two.
The world tournament. But he asked me, and I wasn't available. But he was doing like some of the hockey games, still doing the bars. We were doing the shelter at the time, so we were super busy. And by the end of the week, I seen him at the end of the week. He said that there was more fights and arguments and breaking stuff up in a parking lot at the curling event than anything he's ever done.
Wow.
I figured there'd be nothing at those events.
Yeah. And see, usually they, after the event, there's at the curling club, they usually have something like
Right.
After hours and bands every night and stuff like that. So.
Yep. Well, maybe I'll get some shifts there.
Yeah. Because I usually go and volunteer, do the bingo, or not the bingo, but the lottery. And then once that's done, then I go and find an empty seat somewhere and watch the rest of the game.
At the curling club?
No, at the arena.
Oh, at the arena. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's all you don't need to buy tickets. All you need to do is just find an empty seat, sit in it, and watch the game. So
right.
I get to the best of both worlds. I get to watch the curling and volunteer at the same time. So
yeah, for sure.
He was being chased out of the parking lot.
Another
Did
ambulance.
you get pulled over or what?
I'm stopped. I'm being good today.
There's Rusty.
Lee's knew about it too, because I bumped into her a couple of days ago and she mentioned it.
Well, it had kind of, it wasn't out public yet, but it was kind of being talked about. So I sent a message to Sherry. I said, I hear the news, and she said, yes, but it's not out there yet. And I said, make sure my name's on the list.
That's awesome.
We're all set to go, Rusty, whenever you are.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Everybody here? I guess, eh?
Yeah, everybody's here.
Jason?
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Good, you?
Good.
Okay, I guess we'll start.
You have your emotions there in front of you, or do you want to?
Yeah, I have, I just got this page that you got from the meeting, Andre, for the meeting.
Yeah, so there'll be one more motion to add to there to accept Richard's resignation. So I'll read out the motion when we get to that.
Okay.
Okay, so you just need to ask for movers and seconders and then read the motion.
We'll have a motion to open up the meeting, I guess.
Yes. Okay, so we got Lee's, and then we need somebody to second.
Steve. First by Lee, second by Steve, that the Recreation and Fitness Committee meeting be open at 7 p.m. All in favor? Carried. The minutes of the meeting held on September 20th, which has been a while ago, as adopted as circulated. Jason, second Lee's, all in favor? Carried. Next we have The budget.
You have to adopt the minutes first.
Oh. And we have the minutes of the last meeting.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. Continue.
No problem, Andre. Okay, we need a mover and a seconder to accept or recommend our budget to council. Moved by Lee, second by Steve, that the Recreation and Fitness Committee recommends to council to accept the 2022 Recreation and Fitness Committee budget has submitted, and that is referred to the General Government and Finance Committee. Any questions on that? Do we have any? Does anybody have any questions on it?
Now, I'll just make a couple of comments. I guess everything is very, very clear. I just left it as what we had for 2020 and 2021, except for the small increase of insurance. So that's the only difference that we did. I kept the same budget for Canada Day and all of the park improvements, programming and things like that. So because we're just getting back into business this year, I figured we'd keep it like that. And then next year, make the changes where we need to for whatever comes along this summer and things like that.
Okay. I just had a quick glance there earlier, but it looked pretty good, so.
Oh, he's frozen.
Like it.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah, my computer, I might have a bad connection sometimes.
So we'll just, if you want to just make sure that everybody carries that motion for the budget, and then we can move on.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. The next one we have is for Canada Day to select
Number
the
five.
date.
Number
Pardon me?
five. Number 5, the reports.
Oh. Okay, reports. Great news, yeah.
I'll give you an update on the waterfront development grants. We did get a grant to install a curtain on the rink. So the fabric and everything has been chosen. So now we're at the building stage. It should be installed probably around April, May. We do need to do a unveiling as the Recreation Committee and the township. So I'm trying to work things out, maybe do July 1st and have everything into one, seeing that a lot of people will be out here that day. So that's something that we need to work with MPP Fideli's office and see if he'd be available that day. If not, then we'll have to do it another day. As far as the waterfront, hopefully next week. And it's working very, very hard. She's kind of taken over this project since I didn't have time for it. She is working with a company. They are looking at building the splash pad, the fitness park, the playground equipment for the other park. And depending on everything, she explained it last week, will be known as a national hotspot or something. And with that, we get a better price. The guy was coming back from holidays. I think today was his first day. So we're hoping to be able to meet with him this week. And he's going to unveil everything for us. And once that's done, then we move on to the other projects. The government dock, The parking lot, there needs to be some landscaping done at Centennial Park. We did start the parking lot, but now we have to do the landscaping from the parking lot down to where the playground and things like that would be. And then we're gonna do some not sidewalks, but boardwalks at this end where the rink is to connect everything and as much as we can. So our grant was very specific on what we could spend it on, and we had itemized everything. So as the weeks go by, then we will apprise the committee and council what our project, where we're at and how much we can get done. So all in all, we our commitment, I believe, was about 10%. And between the two, FedNor and OHN, it's a hard one.
OHFC.
No, it's not OH, it's
NOHFC.
OHFC. There you go. Between the two of them, we got close to $1 million. So that should be a big improvement of what we can do out there.
Yeah, it'd be great for sure. Great.
Yep. Yep. So we'll
Rick-
keep you posted.
Jason?
Is it the intention that the funds will be expended all this year?
Yes. Yes. Hopefully everything will be done by fall. So like I said, the priority is the splash pad, fitness park, playground equipment, and then hopefully the government dock. So that's the priority, is those three there. And as you know, as money and time permits, then we keep working down the list of all the items we had on there.
So in a project that we had from the beginning was, excuse me, a 5-year project. We're going to do it all in 1 year?
Not all of them. There's
Okay.
like, yeah, well, the bigger items, yes. After that, there'll be more, like we had an amphitheater, we had a fire pit, we had the boardwalk connecting, I don't know if you remember the plan, but connecting this park to the other, either above or below the train tracks and things like that. So those items will be left. And when grants become available again, then we'll apply for grants and start planning for those.
Okay, so in the beginning, there was mention that the grants was for the 5 years. So that has changed? Did I misunderstand?
The grant, you mean, was for
Yeah,
5 years?
That there was
No.
monies for the 5-year plan?
What was in our plan that JL Richard had thought like over 5 years, we
Mhm.
basically combined all of those in the grants that we received. And so a lot of those items that had been listed to be done in 5 years will actually be done this year.
Okay,
Sir, but that doesn't include the amphitheater, the fire pit, or the boardwalk, is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, those are lower items. We were trying to focus on the bigger items that would benefit the community and everything. So we were trying to, for the money we received, we itemized. So I don't have the list here, but there's, so like I said, the splash park, the fitness park, the sunshade for the fitness park, playground equipment for Centennial, government dock at Centennial, the parking lot at Centennial with the landscaping. Then there's boardwalk from the rink to the splash pads and things like that. So it would be wheelchair accessible. And then as we get our projects done, whatever money is still left, there's other items that we put in there, but were low priority. So extending the boardwalk onto the island, maybe a boardwalk from this parking lot down to the island so they wouldn't have to go around. So it just depends on, you know, how much we can get done with the grants we received.
And we're
Okay.
waiting on, sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lisa. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, so after we've done what you've listed and there's no money left, there's a good possibility that that won't be done if there's no grant money?
Well, then it's up to us to continue putting money aside in our budgets and find other grants available to continue doing the rest.
Okay,
Because there's always grants out there. It's just to find the specific grant that will allow us to continue what we want to do.
Yeah.
okay.
Moving on, yeah. What about the dock? I mean, some of the stuff, aren't the docks federal?
No, that's our dock. That
That
belongs to
one
the
over there
township.
is
Yeah.
the township's dock, okay.
Yes.
And
yes.
the one in Talon is not.
Blanchard's Landing. Oh, that actually belongs to Ontario Parks and not the township. So that's why it's and this grant was very specific when Hassan applied for it. It was for Waterfront Development Plan, Kabascong, and Centennial. Blanchard's Landing does not belong to the township. It belongs to Ontario Parks.
That's what I
Or
thought.
Parks Ontario.
Or, yeah, that's somebody else's.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just a couple more questions if I could, Mark.
Yep.
So we're still waiting on final cost estimations. That's why you're unable to tell us how far we're going to be able to go down the list. Like, because do we know the cost? Like, we have cost estimations, but we're just waiting on final costings.
Yes.
And how was the priority set? So you itemized like item 1, 2, 3, 4. So how is that determined?
The priorities were set based on the Waterfront Development Plan and with discussion of what we had a couple of years ago with the community and what they wanted seen. So we based everything on that and put the like the splash pad and those things top priority, and the boardwalk, which would probably require extensive planning and money to link from here to the other parks. So we put that down lower and tried to, in other words, get more for the money we had. And then the rest could be planned later.
Yeah, and I get it's been a few years, so costs go up, but it's and you maxed out. I'm sure NOHFC and FedNor 500,000 is probably the maximum that they give for that. But just when I read the plan, it sounded as though, and to Lisa's point, like over those 5 years, that this $1 million would have taken care of kind of that overall plan. So it's great that we got the money and that we're able to do it. Unfortunately, it just sounds like at this point, it might not stretch as far as we were hoping it to stretch.
We're hoping, and like you did say, cost as well too. JL Richards, when we put in the application, revised all of those. So we went based on, but you know, as we all know, with COVID and everything, prices are going up daily. So, and that's why right now we're focusing on those 3 items, and we do have a budget. And once we get those items, because those are the bigger items that we need to move on, and then we'll start working with the other things as the weather permits us and get somebody in there to give us estimates for landscaping and the docks and things like that. So there's, you know, we do have timelines for everything. So as we continue, we'll get those done.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
All right. We can move on now to new business. 6.1, the 2022 budget. I guess Andre would.
Yeah. We'd skip number 5, so we can go back to 6.2 now.
Okay. So 6.2, now we're gonna lose Richard. That's too bad. Very sad to see him leave.
He was a great asset to the community. A lot of groups are gonna miss him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so accept his resignation reluctantly. We have no choice. Do you want to send out a letter to him, and how do you want to do this? Thank
We'll
him.
accept it. Yeah, we'll accept his resignation, and then I'll send him a letter thanking him for his services and everything on behalf of the committee.
Can I say something? Now, in that letter, are we thinking of giving him a little gift or for his services that he's done on the committee? Is that something that we've done before, or for our gratitude for all that he's
I think
done?
we've done, yeah, no, it's not something we've done before. Usually it's just a letter that is sent out and thanking them for their services.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't know if we had did that or.
I mean, even if it was a gift card, you know, a letter is a letter. It's appreciated, but even if it was knowing Richard, even if it was a $25 gift card or $1, those Visa debits or MasterCard debits, I'd be willing, the case would be willing to donate the $25 to get the gift card. I just feel myself that he deserves, or it deserves, a little bit more than a letter of gratitude, just to show our appreciation.
Yeah,
Andre, do we have any, when we rebranded, did we get any swag? Do we have any like sweaters or anything with the new
Not
Bondfield
yet.
logo?
Not
Not
yet,
yet,
no.
because that would be a nice gift too if we,
Yeah.
Steve, you
I'll match it at least. So if you get a $50 card, I'll drop $25 off with you.
nice.
It's just to say thank you. He's done so much. So yeah, okay. If you match me, he'll have we can get him a $50 gift card just to say thank you. Is everybody okay? Because this could set a precedent.
Good. So how about we all pitch in $10 and then it has nothing to do with the township?
Yeah. If everybody,
I was thinking something like, yeah, that
about
would be
$20,
good.
and at least he gets $100.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us there. And Andre, don't feel obligated. You don't have to feel obligated. You're not on the committee, so I mean, I'm happy to do $25 and times 4. So
I'm good with it. Richard has been, even when he wasn't on the committee, he's always helped out with Canada Day and things like that with other events as well. So yes, I think Richard does deserve a little something. So
well,
if
just
we
like
all
that,
pitch,
Andre, you've made a donation. You've now volunteered your time for tonight because anything you're making in money tonight, you just gave up.
okay. Okay, so I guess we'll get together and then we'll set that up.
Sounds good.
Okay. So he froze again.
Yeah, my computer's cable's loose or something.
Andre, I'll just pop in sometime this week. I'm away home from work. I'll drop by off somebody.
Okay, so Rusty, you just need a mover and a seconder to accept Richard's resignation.
Okay. We'll take a mover and a seconder, please. You guys are all frozen. I can't see.
Okay, we got Steve and Jason.
All right. All in favor? Carried. Like something wrong here. All right.
So now since we accepted Richard's resignation, we have an empty seat. So this would be a good opportunity to have somebody sit on there for the next couple of months because this committee will be done in November. And then after that, we'll form a new committee for the new year. So it would be a good opportunity to give somebody in the out there in the committee, see if they want to do this without committing for 4 years. So that would be our next step. So I don't think you have, do you have that motion there, Rusty? I don't think I gave it to you. I'll just read it out and then you can ask for.
No, I don't.
Okay, it just says that the Recreation and Fitness Committee recommends to council that advertising be placed on the website for a member to sit on the committee. So if you want to
Okay.
ask for a mover and a seconder, and then
Steve, second Lee's. All in favor? Carried. .3 Canada Day. So hopefully we'll be able to have one party this
yeah,
year.
just give me a second there.
Yep.
Going to get our Canadian flag or?
Uh-huh.
Well, in 2020, we had our theme was supposed to be Canada, eh? And then it was for everybody to come up with Canadian things. And if you remember, we had these made that have been sitting here for 2 years now. So maybe if, and there's no date on here. So we could, so if we went with the same theme, we could finally start selling our t-shirts.
Yeah, for sure.
So looking for suggestions.
Works for me. We've already outlaid the cash for the shirt, so if we can recoup some costs, let's do it.
I know that we've been selling them at the case. We sold them last year and the year before, even though there was COVID. We
Yep.
sold a few of them, but we can do that again this year.
How many do we have left, Andre?
We would have to order more, probably large and extra large. Those are the ones that seem to have really gone out.
Okay.
And I don't know if most of you remember, but the proceeds of the t-shirt sale was actually supposed to go to support the summer camp.
Mhm.
So we can do that again this year. Place them here
sure.
and there and start advertising.
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds good. So everybody want to go with the same theme?
Yeah. When is the next newsletter going out?
I'm just waiting for everything to get back to back on track and with all the clubs and everything. And I was gonna, with more information from our meeting tonight, then we could start planning the next newsletter. Usually we have one in March and then the next one would be in June. So it kind of fits with the reopening of everything.
Yeah, because we could put it in the March letter and in the June letter.
Yep.
And let them know where they can purchase those t-shirts.
Yep.
Also great to be able to tease what's happening down at the waterfront this summer, right? So tease it now, and then more specifically, probably in June, you can go into far more detail once we have the things costed out, and we'll probably have sketch ups and we'll have all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So we can go with the same theme and then just buy whatever t-shirts that we're missing.
Great.
Yes, we already have the template already made for the t-shirts, so
Mhm.
you can just order more.
Yeah, and then I'll work with the same budget as we had in 2020 with the fireworks. The band, ironically, I was going to reach out to J.R. Oberton, who everybody seems to love and want back. And actually, she called me last week to see what we were doing. And she was putting us on her list as the first one. So we have first pick. And so all I need to do is just give her a call this week and say, yes, okay, we're good to go. Here's your budget. And she's got the entertainment planned for the afternoon and the evening. We won't have to look after anything. She'll do it all. Yeah. So So if you guys want to go ahead with Canada Day, just let me know and we'll start the
Oh, for
process.
sure.
Absolutely. I think we need to actually spend a bit of time figuring out how we amp it up. First one after COVID, I think people are just itching for community events again, right? So
There's
Yeah.
also, there's going to be a lot of construction depending, so we may have to not scale it back, but watch what activities we offer so as not to interfere with the construction. And we'll need volunteers. It's always the case. You know, if we don't have enough volunteers, we can't really go big, as Jason was saying. So
it's an election year, there'll be lots of volunteers.
okay, I'll hold you to that.
Let's hope so.
Now, Andre, you said that you're going to keep the budget for the t-shirt as is. I think the prices have gone up a bit on that.
I'll see what pricing she gives me, and then we can adjust accordingly, because I believe we were selling them for $15, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'll see what kind of budget she what kind of figure she comes back, and then we'll adjust accordingly.
And it's probably the same thing with the fireworks too.
Yeah, the fireworks, I always give them a budget, and
Okay.
so I just
Okay.
tell them about 3,500, and I say that's what I have to spend, and he comes up with a program. So the other thing, we'll have to make sure that we have our staff, or not our staff, but our members are still qualified to
Certified
set them up.
fireman.
Yeah. So we'll see who's still available and book them for
I
that day.
can reach out to Jill and Dave and find out. And
Yeah.
we can have another talk soon. We set up another fire committee meeting with them. I guess.
Do they not have to be certified for that?
Yes, they do.
I-
Yeah, they are. And we had members that were, but now if they're still with us, I'd have to look.
Yeah. I
I
think
think they
Dave
are.
Vieira may be one of them. We'll have to see the others.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so Rusty, I'll need a mover and a seconder for the Canada Day theme.
Okay. I'll take a mover and a seconder for the new theme. First, Jason, second by Steve. That the Canada Day theme be Canada A?
Canadian, eh?
Canadian A?
Yeah.
All in favor? Carried. Steve, are you gonna be doing any show or at the park this year? Or?
I can check our schedule. With not being able to retain staff over the course of like a year and a half, because we weren't allowed to run any programs, I'm super short staffed. So I'm actually really nervous going into this summer. It'll all be new staff. All my old staff, I know
Oh,
our
okay.
staff, and they all moved out of the area. So usually we double and triple book. But right now, like, I'm not doing anything more than like kind of one a day. So that if we can't get any decent staff, it's just me. Plus the price of gas, like teens don't want to drive from North Bay
Yeah.
in the box and back for, $18 an hour, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what our summer holds, to be honest.
Okay, we'll just keep us in. Well, we'll see how it works, how it goes.
Yep.
Okay. So that's 6.4 summer camp. What do we got going with that? We're picking a date for that motion, or?
Yep. We have to wait and see if Steve can, or what we do, or
Yeah,
Again,
the big thing, I think I sent you 2 possible weeks. I think I sent it to you, Andre, in December or January when we were trying to set up our summer. So you weren't sure if we were able to offer anything. So we've kept those weeks open currently. So now it's just going to depend on whether or not I can put together a team or not.
Okay.
If we don't have the staff, it just won't be safe to run a big camp.
Okay, so, should
I
we
think-
just go with 1 week from,
Ken, I know we talked before COVID about trying to do two, one in July and one in August, and that's what I left. I can email the dates tonight when I get to work. And I'd like to be able to commit to that. I just, like I say, if I can't get quality staff for my camp, I'm not even going to run our camp this year. It might just be, one of those turnover years. I've had 8 or 9 job postings like in different locations out for 2 months, and I've got 1 resume.
Not good, yeah. Oh, geez.
Usually by now, like if I post anywhere, like even if I just post once, like at the university, I'll have 30 or 40 resumes. But I've posted at the university and the college. I've posted like Indeed and Regopolis and anything I could think of. And currently we only have 1 resume in.
Well,
I think maybe just for this summer, we should do 1 week. And as we get more fun and stuff like that, we may be able to, in 2023, offer maybe 2 weeks, like 2 different weeks, if that's good with you, Steve.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with doing it at either location.
to pull up.
I know this summer might be a little bit tough at the park there. So if we wanted to go back to the camp, we can do that as well. Like I'm good wherever you think makes sense.
But we have to make sure that the camp has that week available,
Right. Yeah.
because I'm a member of Friends of Camp Caratu, and
Yeah.
they're getting bookings.
Okay.
So we have to make sure that we contact them to make sure that that week is available for us.
Right.
so what are we thinking on which date?
Do
Steve, I
you,
mean,
do you remember when,
how about you look at it tonight and then just email Andre?
I can check just off of my phone here. I think it was July 25th to the 29th. And then I'm pretty sure it was August 15th to the 19th, but I can confirm tonight.
okay, I would prefer the August, when I'm not on vacation.
Right. So I'll confirm what I have scheduled so far and send that to you. And then as long as we can get, 4 or 5 decent leaders in that we're going to trust, we'll be able to run something for sure. Even if we have to actually like set a limit of kids and follow it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
follow it, Steve.
That's on me.
Yeah.
I had a good team last year. I knew we could get away with 73.
Okay, so we'll put the week in August, and then we'll just add the dates.
Okay.
Okay, and then yeah, because I hate to run the camp when I'm not here, just in case there's any issues or anything like that. So I'd rather be here if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Lise, you could check on the availability. Well, what do you guys, and then see if that camp's available? Carry to?
Okay, so you'll have to confirm the week for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So Rusty, do you want to get a mover and a seconder for that?
Yep, we need a mover. And a second, moved by Jason, second by Lise.
I
That the
just changed.
Recreation Fitness Committee recommended council that Bonneville Summer Camp be held the week of August
I
15th.
just put in August, be
Okay.
held in August, and we'll confirm.
Okay,
Okay.
be held in August 2022. All in favor? Carried. Moving on. Other paper here is. $6.5 programming 2022.
That was to start the discussion of programming that you want to see for 2022. I know Steve had talked about getting some things going. There's also the Christmas parade. I don't know what else Steve had in mind to.
I'd like to do the New Year's dance again.
It was a hit.
That's a good idea.
A lot of people enjoyed it. I had a lot of good comments from it, but we definitely need help.
Yes.
Lots of help.
Yeah. Please.
Are we doing our community barbecue and community events this year? You know how the case put on the community barbecue and yard sale?
First Saturday of June.
Yeah, are we doing that?
We
And
can,
the library would sell their books and,
I can talk to the library.
yeah, because I've had people approach me and say, are you doing that again this year? I said, I hope so, because we
Who's
need
Bob?
it. But my my fear is that it's going to be even bigger than before. It seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But now that with the 2 years of confinement, I mean, it's going to be, wow. I think, and we're supposed to be starting to fix our parking lot because it's like this. So I don't know when they're going to start, but I will let my regional manager know that it's the first Saturday of June. And I'm really, myself and the staff are really looking forward to it. Like, you know, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun.
It is fun. Why don't you ask the school if you could use their the yard for your
Well,
garage
what I do every time, every year that we've done this is I always contact the school in case of rain so that we can do it in their gymnasium. So I keep that for in case, plan B. So if plan A, the sun isn't out, we have a plan B and it would be at the school in their gymnasium, and we pay the fee for the gymnasium for the cleanup. So
But
yeah.
just saying, like, if the case is running out of space and they're going to be redoing the parking lot, if we use the yard of the school, not inside, but outside, it would give you more room and more tables.
Well, the main reason we started this was for people to know that there is a financial institution in Bonfield, and we have a lot of new
Yes.
members in our community. So it's just an opportunity. It was an opportunity for us to get to know. Well, I was new, so it was an opportunity for me to know people, to get to know them, and for them to get to know us. So we would really like to keep it at the case.
Okay.
And the chip stand will not be open because that was one stipulation when I approached him to put his chip stand there, that on that day, it is strictly for our barbecue and yard sale so that it doesn't interfere with our sales of our hot dogs, because the staff and I purchase all the food and it all proceeds. We always choose an organization to donate the proceeds, and all proceeds go back out into the community, into an organization. So we pay for the food, but we don't deduct what we've paid from it. Every proceed goes. So
That's very generous.
Okay, so we got the community day with the book sale. We got the Santa parade, New Year's Eve dance.
Halloween, what's happening with that? Is it René Contant that's going to do it again?
I don't know. we could approach Renee and see if she wants to do it again this year.
Yeah.
We can help her out.
Because the community seemed to really, really like the Halloween parade, and the candy's been given out, even though they really enjoyed the decorations inside the hall. Yeah, maybe that is with Richard gone, because Richard was the one that organized that with the Agricultural Society.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe approach her and see, and approach too the Agricultural Society to see, are they planning on doing an activity again? To coordinate the two. So if Renee wants to do it again, then.
Okay, I can approach Renee and see and work with her. Anything else?
I eventually wanted to run all the programs again. Well, not myself run them. I wanted our township to run them. Things like soccer and t-ball and all that stuff went well. We thought we were going to get the green light for the gym this year for the Thursday night sports program again, but obviously COVID stuck around longer than what we thought. But the school kind of tentatively agreed that, you know, we could run that again in December, January, February, but obviously that didn't happen. But I think actually
come up with some sort of a revenue thing so that we can actually like pay a staff member, actually have like a recreational coordinator or somebody, so that we're not just relying on volunteers. That's why those programs weren't lasting and people were burning out. If you know, if it's a job for somebody, then, you know, a few hours a week, running something year round would be good, once a week or
yeah. Because we had that soccer clinic, and the case was the sponsor of that, and if we want to do that again, we will sponsor it.
Yeah, so originally somebody else was running that, and it was going to get canceled a couple of years in a row, so we ran it a couple of years. But like, it would be good to get somebody younger that has a bit more time, you know, college, university, something like that, ECE, or like a student teacher, you know, something like that can run some of these programs. We ran a t-ball that year too. There was talk of like the swimming lessons, and, you know, there's been all kinds of different talk. If we could hire somebody where it's 5 hours a week or whatever, and we can actually dictate, okay, from this time to this time, you're going to run soccer, then you're going to run t-ball, then you're going to run this, and just almost have it the same day and week and time every, you know, all year, and just run different stuff throughout the year.
Andre, we have a couple of young part-time staff currently, do we not? Like, they work at the landfill. I see them on Saturdays anyways. I'm assuming they're part-time?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it might actually be fairly easy if somebody like that would be interested in expanding and getting a few more hours, right? And just coordinating that kind of stuff, right? It's probably a pretty economical way to have that salary just topped up a little bit. I mean, any of the entry fees into a Thursday night volleyball league or whatever might happen, you know, pays for that pretty quickly.
Sure, that's an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mind helping out. I just don't want to volunteer twice a week year round with everything else that I have going on, right?
Yeah, no. And we can keep programming under unfinished business. So every month we can see how things are going out in the world. What's also going out at our, because we don't want to plan an event and not have any parks to run it at. So, but we can keep that as a unfinished business, and every month just discuss what's coming up and what we can do, and just come up with new programming.
Like, we were approved before for a rink attendant as well, right? For twice a week or whatever, where they were going to go over.
I believe it was 4 nights a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that.
Yeah, we had talked
on the
about
board.
Yeah.
Sorry, so that'll be on the board again for next year, since it didn't happen this year, right?
Yep.
Because putting together like a community hockey game 1 day a week, and then have them go over just to kind of, you know, help supervise and organize and stuff would be kind of neat as well. There's a lot we can do in our community, as long as we have, you know, qualified and experienced people to kind of help out, right?
Yep.
Do we have a sense of what other, like I saw the ATV runs happening, the poker run. Do we know what else the Lions or the church or churches are doing? Like, so we're not conflicting with some of their events? Because
I think in the summer, at this time of the year, the ATV run, then there's Community Day, which is usually the case. The churches do the picnic the third Sunday of July, I believe. So we pretty much all have our
is that the CPI?
Yeah, that's the CPI.
CPI, yeah.
Yeah, so we
Do
worked
you have
well
a sense if they're
together.
doing it again this year?
I believe they plan on it.
That'd be great. I mean,
Yep.
I can't believe the amount of free advertising we get from the new country radio station when they say from Bonfield CPI to, like, we get named and it's often, right? So
Yep.
it's just, we're known for it, which is, I think
Yep.
we just have to embrace it and run with it. It's great.
Yeah, and that's why that was the idea behind the newsletter when it first started, was to promote all those events through the different clubs and the township and everything, so that the community would know what was going on. And it you know, because not all the clubs can afford paid advertising or anything like that. So the recreation committee puts on the newsletter, and then everybody knows. It's like a 3-month period, right? We do one in winter, spring, summer, and fall, and everybody knows what's going on. So, and
I wonder if we
pretty
should
much
be discussing, sorry, I wonder if we should be discussing trying to figure out how to get the word more in North Bay about some of the events. Like, so I know we get some earned media, which is, you know, the media will pick it up, but it's the unearned, or if we should be putting some money aside to do unaddressed ad mail in certain pockets or segments of North Bay, just to really get people aware of, you know, what, you know, send them a newsletter from Bonfield to maybe all of, or half of West Ferris, even. Like, we can just start, you know, figure out how big the budget is.
Does the city of North Bay send out the corporation of the city of North Bay, do they send out a newsletter that maybe we can slip something in there? Do you know?
I don't believe so.
I don't know offhand.
But that would be something that we can ask. I don't know if it's possible. It's just a thought that the municipalities, if they can post something on their website for, you know, if they have something, we could possibly post it on our website. Any events that are going on. I don't know, just an idea.
It's a good idea, especially just as we're trying to get the word back out that things are running again, you know, like things are actually happening after a 2-year pause.
I can see what's out there. If anybody has heard or has any ideas, just shoot me an email and we'll reach out to them and see what they have.
What about the Chamber of Commerce? Do they do anything like that?
They have electronic newsletters, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see what's out there. If anybody hears anything, just shoot an email. We can add them to the list.
Find out. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for now as far as programming?
I know last year they wanted to do like a craft day or night or morning over at the park. I remember that they were trying to push for almost every day, which was a little overkill. But I don't know if we could come up with the staffing and craft supplies to do crafts at the park every Saturday morning or every Wednesday afternoon or whatever for the summer. Just to start a program.
Yeah. Crafts for the kids, like.
Yeah, like they were all free drop-ins, right? Like I remember that was a big push prior to COVID a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
What about students, Andre? Are we getting any funding or?
We haven't heard yet. We put in for 2 students, but we haven't heard.
Okay. That'd be something we could use too. If we have students, we could,
Yeah.
try and maybe use some of their skills in that for doing
Yep.
crafts and that.
Yep, that's a good idea.
As long as it doesn't turn, I mean, depending how many kids we're allowed or
Yeah.
And something to look at anyways.
Mhm. Anything else? Oh, Rusty's frozen again.
For now, for the 6.5?
Yep.
We can start setting up.
I can work with what we have now and then just, like I said, bring it, put it back on the agenda and then just, as we have our meetings, just update what we're doing and what else we can come up with.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Next, unfinished business. I don't think we have any.
No.
Correspondence, nothing. Information. Next meeting, April. So what's our plan?
Is that meeting to be in person?
I don't know yet. We'll know more on the 30th.
Hopefully soon. Yeah.
Because aren't all the restrictions going to be lifted on the 21st of March? Okay.
Yep.
Are you, sorry, when you answered that, are you waiting on council direction, Andre?
The next ECG
okay.
committee.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Good. I'm
you
so
want us-
glad things are starting to go again.
Me too.
Do we want to set a date, Andre, for?
Well, I've got April 3rd, which would be our regular Monday meeting. So if
That says
We start-
2021.
oh, does it say 2021? Oh yeah, sure. That should be 2022. There.
I don't think the
April
3rd
3rd
is.
is good for me.
So it would be the 4th.
I think it's a Sunday.
Yeah, so the 4th is the Monday.
Sleeping? Okay, so April 4th.
That's good for me because the following week I'm gone.
So it's got to double.
Okay.
check.
You say that like it's somewhere warm.
No, it's somewhere even
Oh.
colder. I'm going
Oh.
home, which is up in Geraldton, Long Lac.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. So it's cold over there.
Yeah. Okay,
had
so
some-
April 4th.
Yeah, they had some minus 50s.
I think it's
over
okay. Yeah, double check there, but. Should be good.
Should be good? Okay. So we'll get our meetings back on track.
there. Good.
Mhm.
Prepared to work.
I
A
love it.
lot of planning.
Great.
Good.
All right. So,
Okay. You
You
need a mover and a
motion to
second.
close?
motion to adjourn. First Lee, second Steve. Let this recreation committee meeting be adjourned at 64. All in favor? Carried.
Okay,
Thank
don't
you,
forget-
everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Don't forget, Rusty.
Hey, everyone.
All of these will be in your box to be signed. I'll
Okay.
put them in there tomorrow.
Stop in
Okay.
and I'll drop off the money.
Okay,
Yeah, me too. Bye, guys.
Okay. have a
Night.
good night. Okay,
Night.
bye-bye.